we talk? Ooh, can we? I love that.
I
Oh,
do
we gotta
too.
finish that song. Hey, Annette, we should finish it and perform it.
Girl, listen
Perform it
here.
live.
Hey, I'm with it.
Can we talk? Make a video. Hello, 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 Annette. How are you tonight?
I'm awesome. I'm just wonderful, peachy, and all that good old stuff.
And hello, hello, hello to our movers. How you doing? How are you tonight? Thank you all so much for
Let me
tuning in. You have
share.
tuned in to Can We Talk, brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move. Yes, we are a move meant to move. We want to help you thrust into your purpose so that you can start living the best version of yourself and win. We've tapped into some winning information. We have some winners resources. We're seated at the winners table and we invite you, we invite you to take a seat right along with us, right, Annette?
Yeah, that is so correct. Every week that we come on, our table's getting larger and larger because we want to make sure we have room just for you. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
All righty, all righty, all righty. You could have gone anywhere else, but you decided to stop by here. And we're so grateful. We thank you so much for gracing us with your wonderful presence. And before we get started in our discussion, we want to ask you to do a few favors for us. We want to ask you to please, that video you're watching, please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow the Facebook page, you're subscribed to our page, and that you have joined the Facebook group. So make sure you subscribe. Oh, hello, Francesca. She said, hello, queens, 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 queens. So, make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel, that Facebook page, and also make sure you hit the like button, that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up or the heart button, whatever it is. Hit that button. Show us a little bit of love, Just let us know that you're with us. You appreciate what we do, all that good stuff. So hit that thumbs up button. The other thing we want you to do is to please make sure you share. There's an arrow, there's a curve button with an arrow. It says share. Make sure you hit that button and you share this broadcast on Facebook. You can share it in DM. You can share it to your page. You can share it to somebody else's page. You can, in YouTube, you can click that link. You can copy it and you can send it in an email. You can send it in a text message. You can send it via WhatsApp. You can send it send up a smoke signal. I don't care. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can. That was Anita Adams. So I don't care how you get here. We just want you to get here. So make sure that you tell your friends and family, let them know Anita and Annette are on. They better have this discussion. You don't want to miss it. Come on. Join in. Be in the number. I want to be in the number. I got a song for everything, don't I? So we want you guys in the number tonight. Hello, Lola. How you doing, Lola? Lola. No, is it? No, it ain't Lola. I'm singing the wrong song. So good people. We're so excited about our conversation as always. And before we get further, we want to ask you to do a few more things. Please make sure that that you subscribe, like, and share, but also make sure that you sow a seed. We are a nonprofit organization. And every seed that comes into the seed, we always pray that it returns to you 100-fold. Any seed into this ministry, we always pray over your life. It's good seed into that soil. You can sow via Cash App. Our Cash App is $Movement Worldwide. Again, that's $Movement Worldwide. Or come into covenant with us by becoming a patron. What's this? How do you become a patron? Oh, how do you become a patron? I'm glad you asked. You asked great questions. Well, you can do this. Bam. Go to our website, movementworldwide.org. There's a red button up top that says become a patron. It will take you to patreon.com where you can set up your account and set up your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day. But whatever the amount is greatly appreciated. And most of our patrons have made the amounts for more than we ask. And we're so grateful because that is literally what we need. We need the seed. Not going to lie to you. But what's most important to us is that you are here. We love being able to come on here and see, boom, that Lola is doing great. We love to be able to come on here and see, boom, Boom. Good evening, everyone listening while riding. Bright line home. That is Jassy Carrot, who always got something slick to say. We love when we have Jassy tuned in. You know, we have our regulars who know how to get it going, how to get the fire started here with Can We Talk. So please make sure you sow a seed. Make sure you become a patron. The other thing you can do is follow us. See that globe right there? Follow that everywhere. That's Movement Worldwide. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. And you can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. Now, without further ado, we're going to go into our transformational topic. We have 3 vantage points of our conversation. We have our transformational topic, the things to make you go, just make you think a little bit. Just jar your thinking, because we got to get y'all ready for the power tool, because you know the power tool is a little tougher. So we started off a little light. We start walking off a little light with our transformational topic. We take idioms and phrases that just make you think. So our transformational topic tonight is at the end of the day. At the end of the day is probably the most commonly used idiom currently.
Yes. Yes.
When I tell you that this phrase is like worldwide, world renowned.
It is.
You're gonna definitely hear somebody say at the end of the day in a conversation about 12 times. And it's just the truth, y'all. Good evening, Grace Union Completion. Come on in and say completion. Your turn, Annette.
Oh yeah, hold up now.
You said Grace Union Completion. Yes. See, okay. She was sitting there like. I'm like, what is Anita doing? What is Anita singing? Thank you, Jassy. The curls are popping. Thank you, Jassy. Yeah, too. You know, it takes a lot of work in this bush. But yeah, so that phrase at the end of the day is the most used phrase at the end of the day. The most used phrase. So it's something that you say before you give the most important fact of a situation. At the end of the day, it's spoken by politicians, professional talkers, athletes, business people, and just everybody. Well, as it relates to us, I want to share this thought with you. There are many things that happen in our lives, because when you look at that phrase at the end of the day, when it all boils down to it, is basically what it's saying. There are many things that happen in our lives that are unsettling. The enemy has a way of coming into your space, into your peace, and just kicking up dust.
Yeah. We
are all faced with situations and circumstances that leave us questioning. I mean, he just kicks up dust, and before you know, you're coughing in it and you're consumed by it. You can't see. It's blinding you. It's clogging your thoughts. Because those are the things that dust can do. Dust storms are real. Dust storms kill. Dust is, it's crippling, it's stifling. So we're all faced with those situations, and they leave us questioning our purpose, questioning our existence, questioning God. But no matter what we face, we have to come to the overall conclusion that if we are in the center of God's will for our lives, then Romans 8:28 plays a huge part in that situation that you're in. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them who are the called according to his purpose. Things end up just working out for our good. And I know that it gets crippling sometimes. And when we don't have anything else to give, it's like, God, I have given my all for this situation. I have given my all to this child. I have given my all to this marriage. I have given my all to this business. I have given my all to this ministry. I have given everything I have.
Come
And
on now.
we get tired. We get to a place in our lives where we feel so tired. We're tired of other people's lies and manipulation. We're tired of waiting for something that we believe we were supposed to have 10 years ago. We're tired and we feel pain inside, and we want to feel better about the pain that we feel. And sometimes we get to these places in our walks where it's like it gets so overwhelming that you just can't hardly breathe. You can't find the words to say. You can't even cry right.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been there?
Yes.
It's like you can't even find the tears. You want to cry and
Come on
can't.
now.
You're just numb. You have no tears, you have no emotion, no thought, no whatever. You're going through the motion, you're just numb. You're in a place that you can't hear nothing, see nothing, feel nothing. You can't trace God. You know He loves you, you know He's there, but you can't trace Him, you can't feel it, you can't see it. Oh, and that you got the comments. You can't trace
Yeah.
Him, you can't feel Him, you can't see it. You can't really get to that place that you find a sense of relief. And you know that it's not you. You know that this is not how I normally am. This is not how I normally function and deal with things, but I feel so much pain and I have nothing to give
Come
but
on
my
now.
life. I have nothing to give but me. And I go to a song because she used this phrase in the song. I go to a song where Tasha Cobbs she says, I have nothing else to give except my life. Please accept this offering. I present my body a sacrifice holy. And she says, I'm running back to you with my hands lifted high. I give you my heart. I give you my life. I don't mean to be emotional, but sometimes I cry when I think of all the pain that I caused you. See, this is where we have to turn the tables. I cause you so much pain. I can only imagine the pain I cause you when I'm feeling what I feel for the situation that I'm in. I'm only feeling an inch of the pain that I have caused God. So when I look at it from that perspective, I look at the end of the day, you still love me. And I love it when she gets to the end of the song. She says, at the end of the day, He loves me. She goes in, and that's where I get my worship, because I understand that when it all boils down, at the end of the day, and remember, when we're talking about this particular phrase in the English language, at the end of the day, it simply is, it chalks up to this. After everything has been done, you have given the most important facts. You have exhausted every measure, every situation. At the end of the day is just that. So when there's nothing left, I know that He loves me. And because He loves me, everything is working out for my good. So that means that when all the dust settles, when the final result that you see, it might surprise you, because it might come out different than you expect, because of the fact that God is in control and it is Him who reigns. So at the end of the day, even when I don't see what I think I'm supposed to see, I understand that because He loved me, I'm equipped and I'm built for this ride. Like the old Ford slogan, built for the road ahead. So I know He's not finished. Why? Because I don't have what He promised me. But at the end of the day, I know He loves me. And when I look at this, I'm able to keep my footing. As Ephesians 6:13 says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. That's where I'm getting my word from tonight. I like to get a word that comes, something that inspires me, or something that is in the title. And I like to deal with that word from a transitive and intransitive tense, because it always makes so much sense. Intransitively, a verb doesn't need an object to make sense. A transitive verb does. So when I look at this word stand, it means to take up, in an intransitive tense, to take up or maintain a specified position. And in the transitive tense, it means to endure. So I'm going to plant my feet in the specified position that I have been given as a child of God who is seated in the heavenly places with Christ, that no matter where I make my bed, He's with me. So I have His stamp of approval. I am royalty in God's eyes. I see myself through His eyes. So I'm going to take my position And I know that when I take my position, I can endure any storm that comes my way. So at the end of the day, when the dust settles, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, he loves me. I can say he loves me. And because he loves me, he's going to give me exactly what I need. He'll give you the desires of your heart. He desires that I might live and have life abundantly and prosper, even as my soul prospers. So I am a believer right there. At the end of the day, stand. Your thoughts?
Listen, I always say that at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you know, but your analogy is so much better than I would have ever thought that could, we could get that out at the end of the day. Because I like, I look at it as a finality of a situation, but at the end of the day, regardless, don't matter my struggles, no matter whether it's good or bad, he loves me.
It don't matter.
And
it don't matter what they are.
So doggone powerful, man, Anita.
Listen, right. It struck me because when you have been through so much, when you have experienced, life on that level, and then you don't have the words to express what you think or what you feel. When you know what God said to you, you know what you were promised, you know what you see in your dreams and visions, and you know the life that you have lived, you know that you've been faithful. And like she said in the song, I don't have anything else to give. You have everything. I have exhausted every measure. I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm believing you, I'm standing on the promises of your word, I'm studying, I'm meditating, I'm walking with you. And, and when you're trying to live holy and you look at the next person, well, I have some stuff I want to say that they're doing, I got to keep it holy. But when you look at the next person who's doing everything under the sun, I got to keep it holy and clean, right? When you look at the next person who's doing everything under the sun and you are the one who's like living the holy life and trying to do the right thing and being kind to people and, keeping your mind, keeping your body, keep holding that tongue from being like Peter. And so when you're doing all of those great things and you see other people who are not and they get blessed, that thing feels bad. But we know that rains fall on the just as well as the unjust. So the thing is, we can't always look at what other people do. And when we get to that point and we start looking around, like, God, how come this person get there? How come she got that? And how come he got oh my God, he got a car and she got a husband, she got a house. How come I ain't got mine yet? Why don't I have my blessing? Why do you keep giving my blessing to everybody else? I'm telling you, we've been there. I've been there. Lord knows I've been there. Screaming and hollering and crying because I know what God said to me. But then I get to a place that I understand, like, you know what? What I'm feeling is just a glimpse of what I made you feel.
That's it.
Everything takes us back to repentance, Annette.
Sure do.
And a lot of times, that's just basically what we need to do is repent. Because we think we're perfect. Oh, I don't sin. You doing something. Because the Bible says all. He didn't mean just Annette and Anita. But the Bible said all have sinned and come short of God's glory. And that's why he says to present our bodies as a living sacrifice every day. So you've done something. And some stuff you might need to purge out of your system and some stuff that you're doing that you don't want to let go of. Some things, some people, some sheets, some money, some whatever, some things. But we don't like to deal with those things anymore. Why we don't like to deal with that stuff? We like to deal with everything else. We're like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm doing that. Just like Jesus told the woman at the well, but she's like, I don't have a husband. He said, and the man you with now ain't your husband either. It's like, okay, you put it out there. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade.
That's it.
I ain't gonna go there into people business, but. And I don't have no heaven and hell to put nobody else in. Guess what I got to do? Instead of bringing my stinky, frayed up, raggedy, smelly broom over to your porch, I'm going to go in my own closet and start sweeping up them 2x4s because that's what I'm that one right there. I'm going to sweep around my own door. But I can tell you from experience, and I'm dealing with Anita, I can tell you from experience that when you are feeling stagnant and when you are feeling like those things are not adding up, at the end of the day, he loves you. Deal with you and recognize where you have come short. Repent.
Come on now.
And go on, move on, knowing that it's going to work out for you. It's going to work out. It might not be what you think because sometimes it's the furthest thing from what we really thought.
True.
But we're so busy trying to make that pick. You ever go to have a dream and then you go to sleep, you wake up and you're like, oh shoot, and you try to go back to sleep and make the dream connect, and then you can't ever get that dream. Because you want to see the end.
Yeah.
That's how it is sometimes. You know, it might not be that way. You're trying to go back and see that dream again. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. But yeah, that's our transformational topic today. That makes you just think. It's a phrase that we say all the time, but you never thought it would make you think like that. Like,
that's
really?
right.
That's
right. Very good.
All righty. So with all of that being said, it's time for our toast. Can we talk, Annette? Can we talk?
Yeah, we can.
Real.
Mine is in the. I don't know what's up with
it. She'll probably go get it during the break, so she can come back to my. Girl, we can. But it is time for us to move to the next phase of our conversation. But listen, you still have time to share. We are just getting started. Y'all know we about to go into that hard to have conversation. Which, I had to like kind of moonwalk a little bit. I didn't know your topic. When I saw your topic, I was like, Nita, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Because I was about to go there by asking God why. I was like, you can't go there. You're going to be like running over in that topic. I'm like, I'm going to stay off of that because I don't know what she's going to talk about. So I'll be getting my little tea ready so I can be like, what? You take us. I don't know until I hear it. And it's the truth. I know people sometimes don't think that we think like that. All right. So it's time for us to go to the next phase of our conversation. But before we do, we're going to pause for a quote from the quotologist herself. We're going to have our Annetteism by Annette L. Anderson. And then we'll be back. Make sure you share and let somebody know we're getting ready to go to the next phase. They have time to come in. See y'all in a couple of seconds.
Yep. My first true love on this earth was the one to whom I was birthed. My mother who meant so much to me, as far as the moon is from the sea. When God allowed me to exit the womb, time started and you were gone too soon. While I appreciate each day we had, there are times I smile and others I'm sad. But I know that God gives and He takes away. It gives me comfort for I hope to see her one day. Mama, thank you for all the pearl of wisdom. Through your words, I birth Annetteism. You are and will always be my one first true love. This is Annetteism's Expressions.
Told y'all.
Oh boy. Today I wrote that quote, actually, that poem today to pay homage to my mom. She was really on my spirit heavily. So I wrote that today. So, it's a really wonderful thing to be able to say her name or write and not cry. So that's growth. But anyway, I want to move on. All right. So this is I love this. I love this. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. And I dare say some of us is there right now. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it just takes a conversation to mend a broken heart or spirit. And this is why it's so important, y'all. Open your mouth if you're struggling. Open your mouth. In some cases, a Band-Aid won't do it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
Okay, the power tool tonight is something that when I was growing up, the saints would say. They used to actually say, my topic actually is, why can't I ask God why? And so when I was growing up, they used to say, don't never ask God why. Just trust what He says. And I used to think but if I'm going to serve God, then why can't I ask Him why? Whether He answers me or not, why can't I ask Him why? In many churches today, there are Christians, even pastors, who are struggling with doubt. They have cried out in prayer. They're struggling to believe that God is good, or that He's there at all. And sometimes there are people who are saved still wonder, is God really real? Yet they continue with the emotionalism. They put on a smile while preparing to preach, attend church, or trying to be a support system for others. They mouth along to the words in a worship song, but it all feels hollow to them. I know this because I've been one of these people. Is there something wrong with me? I had to ask myself. I go to church, I listen to the preaching, I'm struggling to believe. And I want to ask God why I have not seen any results. I've been told to pray, to fast, to read the word, and everything will be all right. This does not appear to be correct. You see, I still have my doubts. I'm still struggling. I know what you said in your word, but God, I just need to ask you why. So can the man or woman of God please preach on how I can deal with my sincere doubt? I want to hear a sermon or that somebody preaches that, I know God is this and He's this, but I want somebody to just please stand up and say, brothers and sisters, I know you have doubt, but I have a plausible solution for your doubt. The question of Bible real is sometimes seems to be not trustworthy. And sometimes, and I'm talking about me, it's probably the most troubling area for any believer. I do believe, but every now and then I begin to doubt. Everything hangs or falls on the answer. If the Bible isn't true, then Christianity is a lie, and our faith is misplaced, and we are left with a God who's not there, who that we have not discovered. It's different. We cannot be discovered. I cannot see Him. So I just need to ask God why. I do believe you, God. I really do. But sometimes when I look at my life and things don't seem to come together when I've been praying for that wayward child, or maybe that husband is not walking the way I want, or some other things, my finances. So, and I just need to know why, God. So I began to ask God questions. Why did Cain kill Abel? And he had the audacity to answer God when God asked him a question. Am I my brother keeper? So God, why did he kill his brother? I mean, why God did Tamar, the daughter of David, was raped by half brother Ammon and was disgraced and never married? God, why did this happen? Why was this young lady raped? I see it all the time. Why the wars and the rumors of wars? Russia is committing genocide of the people of Ukraine. And why was a whole generation of people 21 and over killed by God due to not obeying His law? So when I look at what's going on in the world and I look back at the word of God, when they did not obey, He wiped them all out. So why, God? I just need to ask you why. But I learned I only really have a problem, and that's when I really begin to have a problem is when I begin to ask God why. All the time, when everything seems to be going well, I don't need to ask God why, because everything is lining up. You know, but I'm learning every day that it's all right to have to ask God why. It's all right to say, God, I don't understand this. God, explain it to me in your word. So if I'm going to read the word, and if I'm going to be able to dissect the word and properly preach the word and share the word with somebody else, then I just got to ask God why. And what I had to do, I then, when I struggled with my whys and I began to ask about the murders and the first murder and the rape of this young woman who didn't do anything and did not deserve it, and all the people being killed by genocide, and even so many other things that is going on. But what I had to do, I had to then go to the only true source that I knew, and that was the Bible. See, the problem what I was having, I was trying to figure it out myself. Yeah, I was asking God why, but I was trying to rationalize it and come up with a conclusion to why things are happening. And so I had to say, and then put your thoughts away, put all that naysaying you may have on the inside, and begin to seek my word. And so what I did, I went to James 1:6. But let them ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth like a wind of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed back and forth. And so many times we miss God because we don't let that faith begin to sink in, and we don't understand that it's so easy to be caught out there in a wave. You're going back and forth and being tossed, and I have all these ideas and thoughts. So I had to limit my thoughts and put my thoughts on the Lord. And so I saw this quote. It said, "Let your faith roar so loud that doubt cannot hear anything else." So I had to allow my faith to overcome my doubt, because doubt will always be there. What doubt does, it begins to question everything you believe, everything you are, everything that you know. But doubt gets in the way, and it causes us to miss what God has said. Well, one reason we are so prone to doubt is that we fail to see God at work in our circumstances. We ask and nothing happens. But the Lord is not some cosmic bellhop who jumps in response to our requests. He sees the past, the present, and the future, and knows the right time for everything. His invisible hand is already at work on our behalf, arranging situations to accomplish his will, open hearts, and preparing us to receive what he wants to give. The problem is we think God thinks like we do. And that's the first thing and the first reason we get in trouble, because you have to, when you read the word, you have to understand his thoughts are greater than our thoughts. We could never begin to think on that level. And also, what I've learned about why I needed to ask God why, I had to understand it's not about my past so much, even where I am, but God will see down the road. He'll see a situation that it looks good right now. But God said, what I'm going to do, I know it looks like I don't hear you, daughter. I know it looks like I don't hear you, son. He said, but I hear you. But what I'm trying to do is save you. I'm trying to protect you, because I have a call on your life. And if I allow you to marry that joker right there, you're going to be in a little trouble. If I allow a situation to come, so listen, I hear you. Don't never think God don't hear you. But what happens is we try to rationalize and line things up with our thoughts and what our desires are. And if we ever can get to a place in God that we can trust him enough with our situation, that we'll know that he has already worked it out. And another cause for uncertainty is ignorance. We don't know God's ways, and we will be disappointed in his response. And all too often, our prayers are accompanied by expectation of how he will work. When he fails to intervene according to our timetable or our anticipated method, we start to doubt. We begin to say, God, wait a minute now. You know, and it's interesting. We begin to tell God everything about us as though he don't know. God, don't you know I pay my tithes, I give my offering? God, don't you know that I prayed for the sick? He said, I know all of that, but I got you. But placing our faith in the Lord and trusting in his good and perfect ways give us a stability as we wait for the answer. So I'm here to let you know that while you're waiting for God to answer you, still continue to work. While you're waiting on him to come, still do what you need to do. To overcome doubt, spend time in the word to learn God's principles and his ways. See, the problem, a lot of us doubt because we really, really, really sometimes don't get in that word and go to searching. I'm guilty. I'm really guilty. Then you will begin to grasp what he wants to achieve in your life and how he goes about it. Once you begin to understand some of his ways, I promise you, your thoughts will change. Examine your past from a biblical perspective. We're trying to look in the natural, baby. This thing is not natural. This is a spiritual thing. Faith will grow as you see the unexpected ways he answered to your prayers. So it's all right to ask God why. Because if you ask him why enough, he's going to answer you. Joshua 1:9 says this. One of the things when you ask God why, it said, have I not commanded thee? So this comes when you ask God why. He said, be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee wherever you goeth. So sometimes when you ask God why, he's just going to take you to Joshua 1:9. Then also Psalms 27:1 says, the Lord is my light and my salvation. See, this is when I ask God why, he began to tell me why in his word. Listen, he said, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? So regardless of what I'm going through, whom should I fear? And the Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom should I be afraid? So whatever you're going through, it's all right to ask God why. Why can't I ask God why? That's a question only that you can answer. But I ask God why. Because the God that I serve will answer me every time. He don't always answer right away. But then it may be a 6 months. It may be 6 weeks. And all of a sudden the answer, God will give me the answer. So why can't I ask God why? Why not? Because why would you serve a God, and that you could not go to? Why would I serve a God, read the Bible, and still can't ask him why? Because he's going to answer you, and it don't always come. Like the saints say, it may not come when you want it, but it's always on time. So that's all I have with that. Why can't I ask God why?
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. And people were typing in, at the end of the day, God answers. At the end of the day, at the end of the day. And that's the truth. Somebody say, at the end of the day, God will answer your why. And that is so true. So it's amazing how the topics lined up.
Yes.
And I'm amazed that, and we were told, there are a lot of things that we were told, and that a lot of things that we were fed that just don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
We learn better, do better. I mean, it's nothing. It doesn't take anything from what they had. What they had was what they had. But guess what? We have no excuse because we have so much more.
Yes.
We have so much more access to information, so much more access to things. And, and when you know better, you do better. People don't do the things the same way they did back in the day. I mean, people were putting lard on their legs for lotion. So, they went from lard to Vaseline, from Vaseline to lotion to essential oils and all kinds of things. So as you grow, you learn better things that you can do better. And so it doesn't take away, it only adds to. And it's good to know that I can ask God why. I can ask him. And at the end of the day, guess what? He'll answer.
He'll answer.
He will answer. Oh, that was beautiful, Annette. Thank you so much for that. Oh, you gave me chills. I got chills off of that. I feel good. I feel like I'm his child. Sometimes you feel like you ain't God's child. You feel like a little redhead stepchild. Be so far to God's will. Be like, but at the end of the day, he loves me. All right, good people. So we're going to move past this. Thank you so much, Annette, for that awesome power tool. And those are hard to have conversations sometimes. This one wasn't so hard to have, but sometimes it's hard to accept that mama them had it wrong. They did. It's hard to accept that. So, yeah. And don't go tell your mama, those who mamas are lying. Annette say, you wrong when you say having that around here getting a whooping from somebody mama. All right. All right, good people. So we're going to move past this. We're going to move to the next section of our conversation. We got some good stuff coming up. But we are still in our anniversary month. We actually the actual anniversary was a few days ago. It was Annette's birthday, as a matter of fact, on the 14th. And we've been so grateful of how God has blessed us these 4 years. And I'm working on something I'm putting together for next week. I can't wait. It's our final week. So I've been playing our little blooper reel in place of our commercials. So we want you to pause for a minute and listen for the crickets and the wind in the microphone and the shiny faces. And we'll be right back after this moment.
In lieu of our regular commercial break, please enjoy this flashback compilation.
Hi, I'm Annette with the movement on the outside on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Tell somebody today that you love them. Let love flow. Be blessed.
Hello, movers. There is a shift in the atmosphere. And I believe that God is trying to put us in position for the fulfillment of our tomorrow. So get your house in order today. Embrace the shift. Be blessed and be free. Your first and foremost commitment is to God. Commit to Him and He will make your plans happen. Throw your whole self into it. Then you will see results. And God, He is faithful. It's a movement.
It is constant. It is forever going. It is like a river, that brook that just keeps moving.
There was a lot of days that I actually struggled with getting up and putting on clothes to go.
God is still speaking. And I declare, if you get into your silent place, you can hear.
Can we talk? Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Join us.
Not a comedian. He is a joke, but he's not a jokester.
And our Facebook audience, hey, they did. Jesse said, may the men of cell blocks D, E, F through Z do the Lord's work. Talking about that officer who's in prison. All right, y'all, do the Lord's work. Let the Lord use you. Oh my God. Your knees are buckling and shaking. You feel like you can't make it. Oh my God, I'm going to break at any minute now. I can't do this. Lord, you got to do something.
You got to fix it.
I cannot. You got to fix this. And you are literally, most people give up or throw in the towel right before they reach the
I know. You're right. And even with the widow, she could have easily said, this is enough for us. I guess she said, at this point, I ain't got nothing to lose. We're going to die anyway, so let me go ahead and feed the man of God. You know?
It's that time. Tea Time Topics.
It's time for Tea Time Topic, y'all. Thank goodness. And hello, everybody. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Every time I see that video, I just think like, Lord have mercy. Thank God for deliverance. Thank God for growth.
Lord help us, girl.
Oh my God. Let me tell you that, a lot of times we're laughing and joking, but when you really really put your mind to it and come to think of it down, in a nutshell, we have actually seen the evolution of where we are now. You couldn't have told us 4 years ago that we would even be where we are. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't set out with any expectations. We just came into this thing like, okay, we're available and we're going to do what we need to do. And that's basically how, we have run it. It's like, okay, God is in control. He has his hand on us and whatever he says is going to happen. And we have gone through different logos. We already told y'all we had other people. We have gone through getting kicked off of Facebook and off of YouTube. And then we thought we had arrived when we got on Zoom. You couldn't tell us nothing. And so we've gone through those phases and we're still, and now we're StreamYarding it and we got commercials and all kinds of stuff. So it's just amazing to see how God is blessed. So we just wanted to share that just a minute before we go into our Tea Time Topics. We have our first one. Man, there's some stuff going on, y'all. This is a tough one. I've had a tough time dealing with this conversation since it happened. At least 10 dead, 3 hurt in Buffalo supermarket shooting. Governor Kathy Hochul blames white supremacists. The 18-year-old accused of killing 10 people and wounding 3 others at a Tops supermarket in Buffalo on Saturday was investigated by state police last year after making threatening comments to classmates. A racist and hate-filled 180-page manifesto. He was smart enough to write in 180 pages, allegedly penned by the teen, was circulated on social media in the wake of the deadly shooting, which authorities are investigating as a racially motivated hate crime. It also referenced the replacement theory, a white supremacist conspiracy theory that believes people of color will outnumber white people. The manifesto also reportedly stated that the supermarket was targeted due to high percentage of Black shoppers and residents in the community, according to reports. The suspect's semi-automatic weapon had the N-word painted on it and the number 14, a white supremacist slogan. The evidence that we have uncovered so far make no mistake that it is absolute racist hate crime, Grimaldia said. It will be prosecuted as a hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind. Gendron, who drove 200 miles from his home in Conklin to Buffalo for the planned attack, was arraigned on first-degree murder charges Saturday night. He pleaded not guilty and is being held without bail. If found guilty, he faces a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. I have no words for what has happened. Our hearts are greatly saddened by what transpired, and for those of us who actually saw the video footage, it is something that you don't even you can't even fathom in your mind that somebody could just do something that cruel. I mean, he literally, and I watched the video, and he literally just blew these people away without thought. Without thought. So we have to be in prayer, y'all, and we have to be aware of our surroundings.
Sure do.
I'm constant. Let me tell you, I hate going to the grocery store. Ever since the lady down here was killed with her grandbaby, the man killed her 1-year-old grandbaby, and then she jumped at him to fight him, and they fought. The gun got jammed, and when the gun unjammed, he shot her while she was on the ground. He fought her. He was able to fight her. She was 69 years old. Her grandbaby was 1 year old. So I'm always conscious, always leery, always like on alert. I'm always watching around me. And I have no words.
Yeah, yeah. And the only thing I'm going to say about that, what bothers me with that, we saw more people concerned about people not here yet with the abortion rule than we are with people who was here and murdered. And there's some of them, those people in high offices, they have not responded like I think they should have. But that's okay though, because at the end of the day, yeah. Because one thing about trouble, it'll knock on your door too. So don't be so quick to think, But that's why all this free speech. I don't know. Some of that stuff don't need to be on social media. This boy, 18, boy, he ain't even start living. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a sad thing. So let's continue to be in prayer for those families and be in prayer for, now we got to hear about it for another 2 or 3 years, and it'll be forever before he gets convicted. That's fine. I don't understand our system. He did it. Why bother? Put him under the jail and call it a day. Just put him under the jail. Somebody said take him back to that neighborhood and push him out the car. Oh gosh. All right. Come on, fellas. Take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Actually, this one's related to it, though, and it's really a nice.
Who is that one? I'm not sure. Did I have the wrong picture in there? Is that the Economist?
No, it's not. You know what? I got. I think I have her story in the wrong spot, and I may. Let's just go ahead and skip it. I'll skip it and take it to the next one. Here you go. I don't know which one. I sent you.
Okay. All right. All righty. No problem. All right. The United States death toll from COVID-19 hit 1 million people on Monday. That's 1 million souls. Okay. A once unimaginable figure that only hints at the multitude of loved ones and friends staggered by grief and frustration. The confirmed number of dead is equivalent to 9/11 attack every day for 336 days. It is roughly equal to how many Americans died in the Civil War and World War II combined. It's as if Boston and Pittsburgh was wiped out. 3 out of every 4 deaths were people 65 and older. More men died than women. Wow. White people made up most of the deaths. Oh, wow. Wow. Didn't know that. But Black and Hispanic and Native American people have been roughly twice as likely to die from COVID-19 as their white counterparts. Most deaths happen in urban areas, but rural places where opposition to mass and vaccination tend to run high. They paid a heavy price at times. The death tolls less than 2.5 years into the outbreak is based on death certificates data compiled by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's National Center for Health Statistic. Okay, got that word out. But the
Mm-hmm.
real number of life lost to COVID-19, either directly or indirectly, as a result of the disruption of healthcare system in the world's richest country, is to be far higher than the milestones comes more than 3 months after the United States reached 900,000 dead.
Mm-mm-mm.
Wow, the pace has slowed down. Winter surge is fueled up, and there's another variance out there. The United States is averaging about 300 COVID-19 deaths per day. That's still a lot, as far as I'm concerned. Compared with the peak of about 3,400 a day in January 2021. Okay, but still,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of souls. The largest bell at the Washington National Cathedral and the nation's capital tolled 1,000 times a week ago, once for every 1,000 deaths. Wow, man. President Joe Biden on Thursday ordered the flags lowered to half staff and called each life an irreplaceable loss. Yes. And yeah, so that is a lot. And that's just a few pictures.
Just
Of,
a few. That's not even the tip. That's not even touching the surface as to how many people have died from COVID, and people are still dying. The numbers are
they're
rising.
dying.
Still dying.
And
Numbers are
people
still,
still getting COVID. They just, yeah. No, okay, you went from 3,000 to 300, but that's still too many as far as I'm concerned.
it's still too many people. They say, well,
That's still somebody
only
loved ones, not a,
1%. Only
yeah.
1%.
Oh,
Like they don't matter.
yeah, yeah. But the ones who saying only 1%, that's because they still here living. Well, let's go and
Exactly.
talk. We could talk to the ones that's going on. Come on,
Or talk to the people who've lost multiple family
yeah,
members.
and their family members. Shut
They'll
up.
tell you what to do with your 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and I actually found the information. This was and I you know what I know what I did. I put it on the wrong page, but this is a Buffalo resident. Her she is a poet laureate, Jillian Hainsworth, and she advises her community um uh to lean into the pain. She said that, all the pain that we're feeling is valid. The tears are valid. The anger is valid. She said, yes, it happened. You are right. I know it hurts. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to not want to go to work today. It's okay for your kids to stay home from school today because they're afraid. But she said that she takes issue with social media, the social media hashtag Buffalo Strong, because it could trick people into thinking that the survival is the goal. And she said, when they really deserve to exist and thrive without the fear of being hunted down in a grocery store. She said, we don't need right now to be told that we're strong. We need to be told that we're right. She said, explaining that the hashtag doesn't sit right with many Black people in Buffalo, because she said that her job as a poet, she's a community organizer, and her job as a poet is to validate people's feelings. She said, Black people in this country have lived through so many hate us just because we exist. And we experience that at different levels on a daily basis. So we're strong. We know that, she said, but my main objective right now is to validate the emotions. This is real. We can't let society gaslight us into thinking that there is no racism. People need that right now. They need to know. And she's, so she's really, and in talking about systemic racism, she said many white friends have reached out to share support and sympathy and to offer help. She asked them to be honest with themselves and with their families and their friends about systemic racism. She said, we need you to talk. We need you to stop sitting around the dinner table acting like everything is great, because it's not. Just because we aren't experiencing it doesn't mean it's not happening. And your role in this is to help change the system. Because people just don't want to have the real true conversation. And that is why things like this have happened, because we're not talking about the right stuff. So yeah. So I wanted to share her story.
Oh yeah, and then using the word resilient. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it. Every time something happens, it's just resilient. These are not resilient. No, we hurt. No, we're not resilient. Yeah, I totally agree with her.
All right. So I actually loved her comment. It really, her story, it made me really, it made me think about that. That's true. Stop saying that. Yeah, yes, we are strong. We know that, but we're also right. And you need to talk about the elephant in the room and stop sugarcoating it and pushing it under the rug. So we definitely give her a teams up applause for her.
That's why nobody's not saying anything. It's two things. They don't want to talk about the gun NRA,
No,
and they don't want to talk about
they don't want to talk about guns and racism. They don't want to talk about those things.
No, so what we're gonna do is be quiet and pretend it ain't real.
That's what they do. All righty, fellas, come on, take us to the next one. There were two in there, Annette, so I rearranged the photos so that I could get those two because I do have the story. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Okay. Moving. We keep it moving.
Oh, you want me to do that one? Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here like do. Oh, God. Girl, look at here. Okay. Economist Lisa Cook confirmed to Federal Reserve Board first Black woman. Wait a minute. Anita, did you look at that? First Black woman governor. That don't seem right. Something not right.
Well, Annette, I copied and pasted what you
gave. No, okay. No, I got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. The Senate confirmed economist Lisa Cook on Tuesday to serve on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, making her the first Black woman to do so in the institution's 108-year history. Her approval was a narrow party line vote of 51 to 50, with Vice President Harris casting the decisive vote. Thank you, Harris. The Senate Republicans argue that she's unqualified for the position, saying that she doesn't have a sufficient experience with interest rate policy. They said her testimony before the Senate Banking Committee suggested she wasn't sufficiently committed to fighting inflation, which is running a 4-decade high. Cook, now listen, this is what got me. They said she's not qualified. Cook has a doctorate in economics from the University of California, Berkeley, and has been a professor of economics and international relations at Michigan State since 2005. She was also a state economist on the White House Council of Economic Advisors from 2011 to 2012, and was an advisor to President Joe Biden's transition team on the Fed and bank regulatory policies. And she wrote some of her most well-known research is focused on the impact of lynching and racial violence on African American innovation. That's why they really didn't want her. Cook is only the second of Biden's 5 nominees for the Feds to win Senate confirmation. His Fed choices have faced an unusual level of partisan opposition, given the Fed history as an independent agency that seeks to remain above politics. Some critics charge, however, that the Fed has contributed to the increased scrutiny by addressing a broader range of issues in recent years, such as the role of climate change on financial stability and racial disparities in employment. Isn't that interesting? That's her story. That's interesting to me that they say she wasn't qualified.
Exactly. Yeah. Now they'll say that about her, but yet they put a woman on the Supreme Court who's never tried a case.
Yeah.
Talk about who's not qualified, and I get sick of seeing them say stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It just aggravates me because she is powerful, she is educated, she's qualified, she's experienced, and that's not much that I can say about some of the people who are holding office. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what they do. They always, you're not qualified, but you elected a man in the office that he didn't have no qualification.
I was trying to stay off the comb over.
Well, I understand. President comb over, he had absolutely no experience, none. So let's not go to. I'm sorry, but when you're a person of color, you got to have about 10 degrees and work 30 years. And then maybe
you always have to be like extremely
yeah, you got to
quadruple qualified with 20 degrees and everything in order to, and then they still gonna fight you. They're gonna find something wrong. Well, in 1979, she went into the wrong lane. She turned her car into the wrong lane. Like what? Some foolishness, some stupid stuff that doesn't come. I mean, I just use that as an example, but always something stupid. But you know what? They can try, but they could not handle it. They could not stop her. And guess what? It's a done deal. And we are so excited. Thank you, Kamala, for breaking the vote, for being that one vote that we needed. Amen. So I'm going to take us to the next one. Come on, fellas.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Now, this is interesting, and this is some stuff to make you guys, we talk about the NRA, we talked about racism, but this is something to be aware of. There's a lot going on. We learned that Sweden and Finland have submitted their applications to join NATO. And this is something that this is a very big historic moment. And, when we look at what's going on now with the war, there was some who said, what is the big deal, with Finland joining? Well, see, not neutral like Switzerland, Finland, and Sweden traditionally think of themselves as militarily non-aligned. But Russia's war in Ukraine and Putin's apparent desire to establish a Moscow-centered sphere of influence has shaken their security notions to the core. And just days before he ordered the February 24th invasion, public opinion shifted dramatically. And when we look at this, the other part to look at this is there's so much that's going on in that region, because it was also said that Turkey is trying to stop it, trying to block it. So there's a lot going on, and we really need to start paying attention. For those of you who do not watch the news ever, please, I'll tell you like I tell my kids, put in 15 minutes of local and 15 minutes of world, so you know what's going on in the world, because this is a very particular thing that you need to pay attention to that is happening with what Putin's trying to do, and pay attention to China and North Korea. It is going on. It's going on. They don't want that, because the whole thing was that they didn't want NATO in their backyard. They didn't want NATO in their borders because it makes them vulnerable. And you see, when you don't keep a person blocked in, when you don't keep an animal like Putin caged in, you see what happens, don't you? He's destroyed an entire country. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah. My prayer is that things will work out. That's why those of us who know prayer, even if you don't understand politics, just pray for these people. Pray for these countries. Lift it up. Say to God, I pray for the world. So that encompasses everything. So that's what we need to do, stand in that gap, because we may not have the guns and the ammunition, but we got some power that guns and ammunition will never be able to
exactly.
penetrate. So yeah.
Exactly. And that's why we have to be up, we have to be prayed up, and we have to be smart. Don't just sit back and be tiptoeing through the tulips and see a missile coming. I didn't know we were at war. There's some people that's gonna be caught up just like that. Not even prepared. People don't even prepare for the hurricane. So people need to wake up. It's time to wake up and stop just tiptoeing through the tulips. All right. So I don't have a bell for that one. So we're going to go on to the rest of our good stuff now. Come on, fellas. Take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
It's not, because there's another one make you mad.
Okay. All right. Yeah. A Black Virginia family is desperately fighting for justice after they say their teenage son was a victim of racism hate crime. For nearly 2 years, the Chambers family fights for justice hasn't been easy, as the family claims authorities are doing more to cover up what happened and protect the white teenagers who allegedly left their son traumatized. Crystal Chambers and her husband Jerry Sr. says the past 2 years has been traumatic for them and their 18-year-old son, Jerry Jr. From day one, September 4th, 2020, the victim walked into the sheriff's office himself and gave his report, Crystal Chambers said of Jerry Jr., who was 16 years old back on September 12, 2020, when he attended a party with a small group of friends who were all white. Obviously, they weren't friends, according to the Chamber parents. The teenagers were at the home in Powhatan County, Virginia, about 30 miles outside of Richmond. The county of about 31,000 is 88% white and 9% black. The sheriff's office described Chambers as becoming intoxicated and passing out. While he was unconscious, others at the parties wrote racial slurs on his face and his arm. And also, photos shows a sex toy placed on his face with mustard smeared on his cheek. Another photo shows Chambers appearing to be unconscious, sitting on the toilet with his pants down and a Confederate flag draped over him. The details written on his head that says "White Lives Matter." There are also pictures that she says she don't have possession of And then she said, I saw such on his arm. It said the N word and KKK. So for them to try to not classify this as a hate crime is just absurd. Crystal Chambers said of her son's predicament, the Chamber parents said he filed a police report 2 days later after this incident happened. And they haven't done anything. The chef office said there was confusion. Yes, confusion, but confusion over the initial report file begins here because according to the chef office, while at the chef office on September 14th, Kristen Jared Chambers Sr. briefly showed a couple of photographs they had found on their son's mobile phone to the deputy. Now they was a little confused and expressed that they were not sure if they wanted to file a report due to concerns. This is what they're saying, not true. They had, but they said that was not true. They did want to file. And then I read also, Anita, that they were saying, the time to get something done and this have just about expired. They did it on purpose to protect certain children. They did that, and there's evidence that it happened. So. And so these are the same. I'm sorry, if you're not careful, these the same little kids will be like the little 18-year-old boy. What he did in there. Yeah.
Tell your kids not to get that drunk in college. And you know what? And I remember having the conversation with one of my, I ain't gonna say which one it was. I'll just say one of my kids. It wasn't Kyle. So Kyle told me, Kyle heard me the other week when I talked about it. He told me, I heard you talking about me. Oh, can we talk? I can't even remember what I said. It wasn't nothing bad. But I remember having a conversation with one of my other kids, and I said to him, because there was a picture posted of him on Facebook or something of him with a tequila shot in his hand, but he was looking like, he said they caught him in mid-sentence or something because he was looking like this. So he looked like he was like really, really drunk. He said, I didn't even drink it. He told me, I just held it up to toast the guy. He said, because I wasn't even trying to drink that night. I said, but this is how your good can be evil spoken of, because the girl wrote, we were all so lit. And she was saying a bunch of other stuff too. And I said, you weren't even. But that's why you have to be careful. And when you do go to parties, give yourself a limit, like all adults do. Don't ever go somewhere where you get so passed out drunk that stuff like this can happen. Now, it does not mean that what they did is not wrong. They are wrong and need to be dealt with, because those, like you said, those are them kids. And if they felt that way, why invite him? Why, child, I would be wanting to hunt and turn down. But that, it's really sad. But I had this conversation with kids before, to be mindful, to watch who you are around, and to be careful what you drink, especially girls. Don't drink nothing in an open container that somebody bring you. Say, here's a drink. So you go get your own drink. Or you don't drink nothing. If you don't trust it, you at one of them wild frat parties, you don't know what is in that bowl. You don't know what's in the stuff that the person behind the counter is mixing up. So you have to be careful. You have to learn to protect yourself. So, that's really sad. It's awful. Well, it's a lot of stuff I want to do, but I can't do it.
You can't do it, Nita.
I can't do it. For them crazy behind churn who wrote on that child's head, we give y'all a big old womp, womp, womp. That's foolish. And watch your drink. If you put it down, leave it down. You better say it. I think, Juanita, you getting your first bell ever.
Yes,
Can we talk? That is true. If you put it down, leave it down. Leave it down, period. People need to tell their daughters that. Because I see it all the time. I'm like, what are you drinking? Where did you get that from? Who gave that to you? Oh, he just bought me a drink. Isn't he nice? Girl, if you put that drink down, and then they put their drink down, go jump on the dance floor and come back. Ooh, I'm thirsty, girl. If you didn't finish it, then don't drink it. Don't go back and drink it because you don't know what's in it. I like that one. If you put it down, leave it down. Ain't that right, fellas? What's y'all name again? Oh, I forgot y'all don't have no name. Come on, fellas with no name. Come on, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
It's a lot going on in the world, y'all. It's a lot going on. Oh, man. Let me see. Black Virginia. Oh, maybe wrong thing. The global COVID-19 pandemic and a recent Iranian cyber attack has had a devastating impact on one of Illinois' predominantly black colleges. After 157 years, the institution is set to close its doors. Mm. After failing to raise millions of dollars for operation, according to a statement released by Lincoln College. The institution's board of trustees has voted to cease all academic programming at the end of the spring semester, closing the administrative of the historic institution permanently on Friday, May 13th. The school says it has already notified the Illinois Department of Education, of Higher Education and Higher Learning Commission about this decision to close. School President David Gerlich said Lincoln College has been serving students from across the globe for more than 157 years. The loss of history, careers, and a community of students and the alumni is immense. Student DeMarcus Barksdale, organized a GoFundMe telling his peers to make a contribution to this cause that means so much to him, raising more than 10% of his $20,000 goal. Despite Lincoln having a record-breaking student enrollment in fall 2019, multiple factors contributed to the pending closure. Two international occurrences drastically changed the trajectory of the school after having so many enrollees, to the degree that the residence halls were filled to maximum capacity. COVID-19 not only stopped campus life, but impeded recruitment and fundraising efforts, two major sources of income for schools. The economic burdens initiated by the pandemic required large investments in technology and campus safety measures, as well as significant drop in enrollment, with students choosing to postpone college or take a leave of absence, which impacted the institution's financial position, the statement outlined. Another unfortunate incident that hurt the school happened in December 2021 when it became a victim of a cyber attack waged by cyber criminals in the Middle Eastern country of Iran. The ransomware attack disrupted the administration's access to institutional data and admissions activities. Man, that's really sad. That's really sad. I hate to see I hate to see a school close like that. Especially, what are those kids gonna do? It's like that's a lot to have to clean up. And I know COVID wreaked havoc in a lot of situations.
It really
But
did.
these cyber attacks have got to stop. It's ridiculous. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I felt so bad for that. And then we're talking about years. This college has been around.
157 years.
Yeah, that's the legacy alone. I just felt bad about it. Wow.
Whew. Well, our hearts go out to them. And for you Iranian people sitting in your closet, cyber attacking people, it might not mean much to you, but we womp, 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 y'all. We womp, 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 y'all. Yes, we do. And our hearts go out to the students. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty. There's an African American civil rights movement that have really been on the move. The National Park Service is advancing its effort to conserve structures that are symbolic of Black resilience and liberation. That's just the picture is just one of the ones that they're going to be fixing. The agency's latest initiative is centered on preserving historic spaces that serve as backdrops of civil rights movement. NPS announced that it will allocate $16,247,500 to create African American Civil Rights Grant. The endowments will be distributed among 44 projects across 15 states that have a collective mission of rehabilitating and protecting landmarks that are interwoven into the history of the fight for social justice. Among the past grant recipient is the Hincliffe Stadium in Paterson, New Jersey, one of the nation's last standing Negro League baseball stadiums. The Miami-based mosque, which was a pillar for Black Muslim, will contribute to the development of civil rights campaign in the South. Will receive funding this year. Oh, that's awesome, Anita. Mm-hmm. The endowment will also support conservative conservation, projects designed to amplify the narrative of change makers at the forefront of the civil rights movement in Selma, a at the African American Civil Rights Grant. Selma. The African American Civil Rights grants are critical to helping preserve and interpret a more comprehensive narrative of the people, places, and events associated with the African American Civil Rights Movement. The NPS Director Chuck Sam shared in a statement. Sites like the Handcliffe Stadium are rare, and they provide a tangible reminder of this complex history. It was exciting to see the ongoing preservation work at the site that bore witness to more than 20 baseball Hall of Famers in its time and has inspired generations to follow in the footsteps of their heroes. I love that. The Alabama-based schooner, I don't know what that word is, one of the the song.
Clotilda.
Oh, Clotilda. What is it?
Clotilda.
You heard of it before?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's probably why I don't know nothing. Okay. Was one of the last slave ships used to bring Africans to the United States forcibly and will receive a preservation grant to ensure that a difficult part of the country history isn't enshrouded. News about the grant comes 2 years after the National Park Service provided $7.7 million in funding for restoring and conserving historical structures at the HBCUs.
Oh,
And
man.
you know what I love about this, because this is not what we're hearing. That's what people say. We're not doing anything. Yes, we are. You just not doing the research to see it.
Exactly.
Yes, black folks don't do it. That's not true. It's out there.
The beautiful thing that I love about Black people, and what we can really be appreciative, and if we would just take a moment and pause and put our emphasis and attention where it needs to be, is that we have so much history and so much culture.
Yeah.
So we definitely applaud this effort
Yes.
to restore, history. That's restoration of history.
Yes. And it's 15 states. That speaks volume.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
These children dying young and younger. Another rapper.
I know it.
Dead. Rapper Lil Keed, a rising star mentored by artist Young Thug, has died at the age of 24. His record label announced. The Atlanta native, whose real name is Rakeed Render, died Friday. A member of our family is gone. Lil Keed was one of the most genuine and heartfelt human beings. He was an artist who loved his fans more than anything else. Young Stoner Life Records, a music label created by Grammy Award-winning rapper Young Thug, tweeted Sunday, "We lost a brother, a son, a father, and a friend. Keep him in your prayers and his legacy alive." The circumstances surrounding his death were not released. NBC News has contacted the rapper's representatives for comment. Lil Keed was slated to perform Saturday at the Days in Blue music festival in Charlotte, North Carolina. His brother, known as Little Goatee, shared a tribute on his Instagram account. Now, this is exactly what he wrote, y'all. So it's not me. Can't believe I seen you die today, bro. I did all my cries. I know what you want me to do. That's go hard for mama, daddy, our brothers, nature, and white boy. He wrote. Lil Keed's mixtape, Trapped on Cleveland 2, in 2018, carved out a lane for him in the Atlanta music scene and landed him a deal with Young Stoner Life Records that same year, according to the label. His 2019 debut album, Long Live Mexico, peaked at number 26 on Billboard. And it's like tributes poured in for the rapper from all over the place. It's just a really sad thing. And when I look at his death now, of course it's not released as to how he died, but it was said that he was complaining about that his stomach hurt, and he went to the hospital, and by the time he got to the hospital, he was already in distress. So he had complained about it the day before, and somebody said, when somebody say their stomach hurt, believe them, something like that. So there's no telling, but I guess we'll know sooner or later. But at the end of the day, he was 24 years old. That's somebody's baby. That's a really sad thing to me. It's really sad when I see these young men die like that.
Yeah.
Really, really sad.
It is awful.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have a bill for that one. Our hearts go out to the family, and we pray their and we send our condolences and pray for their
Yes,
strength.
Lord, have mercy.
Fellas, take us to the next one. We almost done.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
This was such a good story here. I absolutely love it. Rebecca Lee Crumpler was the first Black woman to become a doctor of medicine in the United States. As the first African American woman to receive a medical degree in the United States, Dr. Rebecca challenged the prejudice and prevented African American women from pursuing medical careers. She challenged that. Despite her achievement, very little is known about her life story. Uh, Very little is known about Dr. Crumpler, and her life story is still being written. Dr. Rebecca, I'm going to call her Rebecca, was born Rebecca Davis in 1831 in Christina, Delaware, to Absalom, Davis, and Matilda Weber. Her childhood was spent with her aunt in Pennsylvania. Her aunt frequently cared for sick neighbors, and Crumpler accompanied her aunt on these trips. She was probably like you know how the community have a little community doctor.
Mm-hmm.
In 1860, Crumpler became the first and only African American woman to accepted to the New England Female Medical College in Boston. The college was established in 1848, and she was the first to award MDs to also to women. Okay, it was also unique in it that it allowed Crumpler to attend, as most medical schools barred all African American, both men and women, from attending. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Crumpler attended the school on a scholarship from Wade Scholarship Fund created by Ohio abolitionist Benjamin Wade. Crumpler worked diligently at her studies, but had to take a leave from Ashland for a couple of years to attend to her sick husband. On March 1st, 1864, on March 1st, 1864, Crumpler received a doctorate of medicine from the New England Female Medical College. She was 33 years old. Wow. She remains the only African American woman to receive a medical degree from the school since. In 1874, it merged when it was that particular school, but in 1874, it merged with Boston University Medical School. Dr. Crumpler began practicing medicine in Boston, and according to a historian, at the time Dr. Crumpler received her degree, there was 54,543 physicians in the country. 270 of them were women, all white, and 180 were African American men. Wow. So she definitely raised the bar, and that's amazing during that time that she even got as far as she did. That's one thing about it. If God's hand is in it, people can't stop it.
Can't stop you.
Yeah.
And then she goes down in history, having done some great things. We have some great people in our history, Annette.
Yeah.
Some great people who have accomplished amazing things. And think about it, the people that we talk about tonight who are doing things now, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren will be talking about them the same way. So we do applaud it. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Speaking of those great accomplishments, yes. A Black Texas woman sentenced to 5 years in prison for voting when she was ineligible will have a new chance to get her conviction overturned. This is crazy. Texas law allows people who have been fully discharged from their sentence to or have been pardoned to vote after a conviction. Crystal Mason was on supervised release for tax evasion charges when she cast a provisional vote in 2016's general election. She was arrested and convicted of second-degree felony in 2018, court documents show. Mason appealed the conviction, arguing that she was not aware of her rights were not automatically restored. She and her attorneys also argued that federal law preempted state law and her provisional ballot was never counted. The Second Court of Appeals in Tarrant County disagreed and ruled against Mason in 2020. Tax evasion charges when she was cast a provisional vote in 2016's general election. She was arrested. The fact that she was arrested for it just does it for me. Does it for me. We remain hopeful that justice will prevail and show that democracy is innocent mistakes about voting cannot be subject to harsh criminal penalties. A March 2021 analysis of Texas Attorney General's election integrity unity found that more than 70%, 70% of voter prosecutions targeted Black and Latino voters. No kidding. The study conducted by the ACLU of Texas was also found that 86% of the unit's prosecutions involved cases in counties with majority non-white and Latino populations, and 45% of the alleged offenders were Black and Latino women. I am pleased that the court acknowledged issues for my conviction, and I am ready to defend myself against these cruel charges, Crystal Mason said. My life has been upended for what was, though at worst, an innocent misunderstanding of casting a provisional ballot that was never even counted in the first place. I've even been called to this fight for voting rights and will continue to serve my community. That is the most ridiculous thing
Yep.
I've heard of in my
And that's something.
entire life.
And we got some right here in Florida that they purposely voted in two different states.
Exactly.
Purposely. They were once they did their research.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't hear nothing about that at all.
It's ridiculous, but you know what? She is standing tall, standing firm, and she's going to be about her business. And we're just praying for her that she would get her due diligence, and that they will stop doing foolishness like this. So I got 2 bells for this one, and then I got 2 bells for this one. I got one for the foolishness and the foolish cops and the people who all were involved in her arrest. I got one for y'all. But you know what? You can do what you want to do because Black girls still rock. Yes, 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 yes. You rock, Miss Mason. And we celebrate you, hunty. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yep. And it is ridiculous. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
This is a very interesting one. The New Jersey Supreme Court on Thursday ordered the state to free Sandia Akoli, rejecting the state parole board's claim that the 85-year-old should stay in prison for the 1973 slaying of a state trooper. The ruling, split 3-2 along party lines, bring to a close a decade-long battle by Coley's supporters to release him 49 years after he first went to prison for gunning down Trooper Warner Foster during a car stop for a broken taillight. We are here wiping away tears of joy, supporter Heather Hansen told the New Jersey Monitor. Civil rights attorney Elijah has advocated for Akoli's release for years and celebrated the freedom that is rightfully his. We strongly hope that Mr. Akoli's freedom will bring attention to the thousands of elders like him trapped in the New Jersey prison system, Elijah said. Akoli has been eligible for parole since 1993, but the parole board has denied his release 8 times, claiming he poses a risk to reoffend.
My God.
During an argument during the state Supreme Court in January, the state attorney general office echoed that claim. In 1996, then Governor Kristen Todd Whitman signed a law mandating life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for anyone convicted of killing an officer, killing an on-duty officer. Governor Phil Murphy and acting attorney general Matt Plakin pointed to the law in the statement saying Tuesday ruling disappointed them. He said, I wish this law had been in place when Akoli was sentenced in 1974, Murphy said. Our men and women in uniforms are heroes, and anyone who would take the life of an officer on duty would remain behind bars until the end of their life. A life without parole sentence reflects the heinous nature of crime, Plakin said. I will always stand up for the safety and well-being of our law enforcement officer, including the brave troopers of the New Jersey State Police. Well, anyway, Albin acknowledged the public pressure officials face to such a sensational case, but said the court must follow the law that was in place when Akoli committed his crime. Neither government agency nor our courts can bow to public outrage in enforcing the law, he wrote. Even the most scorned member of our society is entitled to be sheltered by the protection of the law, no matter how hard and vengeful the winds of public opinion is.
What is he
Yeah.
gonna do?
He's been in that 49 years. I don't think he
He ain't gonna even know his way around.
yeah.
The world has changed so much. They come out so scared. He probably stay home and just chill. Let the man go. My God, people are just the ones who need to be under the jail forever, walking around. There's a whole lot of people that should have been under the jail and stayed. Oh, but you know what? Our heart goes out to him. We continue to keep him in our prayers and our thoughts. For all you idiots holding the man down, we gonna womp y'all too. Womp.
See, but what you know what they did is their own personal opinion. They circumvented the law.
Exactly.
Yeah, because regardless, we don't like some of the laws either.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is.
Wow. Goodness.
49
Goodness. I'm ridiculous. That's crazy. She said, ring that bell. I'm gonna ring the bell. I'm gonna ring the bell for him. He gonna get his. We're gonna celebrate him. And he gonna
And we don't know the whole story why that happened 49 years ago. I got a feeling it may be more to the story than we know.
Of course there is. There always is, and there always is. And he probably don't even remember. All right, fellas, he probably don't. All right, fellas, take us to the next one. I got one more.
Moving. We keep it moving.
This is the other one that was left off of my thing. Freddie Miller purchased Sharswood, which he called the Scary House, and property less than a mile from where his mother lived in Southern Virginia, as a place for family gatherings. I wanted to do that, have a house that, the family could gather close to mama. Little did he know there was a deeper, more profound family gathering taking place. Buying the home launched Miller and his family on an unbelievable journey to unlock hidden chapters of family history and discover their own ancestors had once been enslaved on the very property, which was once a plantation. Isn't that something? The Miller family found important clues left behind in a debilitated building with a tin roof. They had the slave quarters still up, next to a big oak tree that they believe once served as slave quarters. They also discovered a forgotten cemetery among the trees with small pointed rocks as markers. The family search played a role in solving the mystery, as a historian used in the Virginia Birth Index record. Family members told Stahl that the family history revelation has been overwhelming. I'm going to show you a picture of the family. This is them when they were on 60 Minutes. They said that this uncovering has been overwhelming. He said it really is. I mean, we all live in the same area. We come past this place and we would not know that our ancestors were right here beside us the entire time. It has changed me, Miller said. It has definitely changed me. This was this one of our viewers gave us this story, and when I actually watched the video, I was amazed, and it really kind of made me a little tear jerk to see that they were actually standing on the graves of their ancestors. They have been passing by this property forever, and everybody, they used to call it the Scary House when they would walk by it as kids, not knowing that their family were slaves on that very plantation. Something. He just wanted the house because it's a big house. It's a big, nice house. It's very nice on the inside. He just wanted the house so that the family could gather. And now they know a piece of their history.
Wow. That means so much more than just a house.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that's a powerful story. So yeah, so we applaud you guys for, not everybody can know their history to that degree. And it's amazing to be able to know and uncover. We applaud y'all in having a house gathering next to mama and, just enjoy it and enjoy the history that you know about your ancestors. Amazing. All right, well, we've come to the end. I'm so glad we had this time together. But we've come to the end of our broadcast. Thank you all so much for joining us. You could have gone anywhere else, but you chose to come by here. And before we leave, we ask that you do a few things, that you would please, wherever you're watching from, that you would subscribe, like, and share to that channel. We ask that you would sow a seed via Cash App, $ Movement Worldwide, or become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org. Click the red button, go to patreon.com, set up your account and your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day, but whatever the amount is greatly appreciated. Please follow that globe, Movement Worldwide, everywhere. Our social media, we're Movement Worldwide with that globe, the movement. And you can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. Let me get down tonight. We have a lot going on all week, y'all. We start out our week with Annette L. who comes to us on Tuesdays from her organization entitled SOAR. And she graces us with her presence with TNT. That's TNT, Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. Speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. So please join her every Tuesday night without fail, live right here on this platform on Facebook and YouTube at 9 p.m. Then on Wednesdays, meet us right back here for this show where we let our hair down, we unwind, we have a good time, we pull out our tea. We talk about the tea. We have a good transformational topic. We have that power tool. Hard to have a conversation. So please join us here Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube for Can We Talk. And then on Fridays, we are on Clubhouse. If you are not on Clubhouse, you are missing out. It is so amazing. That conversation just inspires me every time I have it. Every week, I'm like, I don't know if we should do it this anymore. And every time we get on, I'm like, oh my God, we have to keep doing it. We have to keep doing it. So meet us in the Movers and Shakers room on Clubhouse. And if you don't know how to get there, boom, text the word movers to 954-820-5050. That's 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. Oh, I see it there. You took it back. You took it back. Oh, so text the word movers to 954-820-5050, where you can get a link that will take you right into the room and bring you right into the Movers and Shakers room to have that conversation. We're there Friday nights at 8. And then on Saturdays, and we will be meeting this Saturday, on first and third Saturdays, we meet for with the collaboration. We join forces with Elder Moselle Mason and the collaboration, and we come together for a time of prayer, the prayer experience, every first and third Saturday at 10 a.m. live on Clubhouse in the Praying Through the Pandemic room. And again, if you don't know how to get there, text the word movers to 954-820-50. 954-820. The 954-820-5050. You get a link right in. And then on Sundays, join us right back here on this platform for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction. Where there is always, say always, Annette.
Always.
Oh, you did a good one. There was always a word for you. Your last thoughts on that before we go?
Yeah, listen, we thank y'all so much. And like we say all the time, there's room at the table. We love you. When you come back, bring somebody. We appreciate it. We got room for them too. So thank you so much. We love you. We love you. We love you.
All right, good people. We come to the conclusion. We gotta go. We love y'all. Give you the love. Meet us back again. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms. TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orate it, articulate it, and reverberate it. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbewell.com, join the journey and take your life back. You can also join Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well every second and fourth Saturday at 3 p.m. for Be Well, a health and wellness series. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patron button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.